see who goes first. Yes, I will pick this one. Dun 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 dun. Duh. Ah. Alright, you got me. There you are. Round one.
Yep.
Friendship. I mean.
I like this ally deck. That's a really cool deck.
Hey, shit! No, it's all good. Well, now you know.
Because it doesn't matter anymore. I will keep.
Likewise. Let's do this.
Okay. Alright. Turn one.
Listener elf. Aw.
Close.
Yes!
Close.
Okay. This is gonna be great. I'll drop an Aether Vial and pass the turn.
Alright.
Ah. Okay, it's not quite what I thought.
It's a weird deck, I think.
I don't know what to think just yet.
It's got a lot of lines, and I'm not very good at playing any of them.
Uh-oh.
It can do a lot of random things.
Well, let's see then. I will... play an Ondu Cleric.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Cat's already out of the bag, so...
Okay, so it's an ally deck?
It's an ally deck.
Okay.
Put myself up to 21, and then I'll pass the turn.
Me, oh yeah, so out.
I'm actually going to inspect my sideboard while you're doing that.
Ghost Quarter.
Ooh. Wait, you have a Ghost Quarter? Oh, yeah, Ghost Quarter, okay.
Pass.
Okay, I'm gonna go outside.
I'll swing one.
19.
Pass turn.
In turn. Gifts.
Scout's Warning. Draw a card. Next creature I play has flash.
So I draw a card? Or you
No,
do?
I draw a card.
Yeah, go ahead.
One sec. Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Ah, Iona and Burial Rites.
Cool. Good subscribe.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Hope to see you around.
That you shall. Guarantee it. Well, I say I guarantee it. At some point. This is my last week here regularly, but I will be back here.
Turn.
Okay.
And get the white from here. And flashback.
Okay. So, in response,
Yep.
actually,
I mean, you can file things all day long.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
We will Scout's Warning again.
Sure.
Rights is good. I wonder.
White.
Yeah.
Let's play this guy.
Okay.
Pass.
End of turn. Kazandu Blademaster.
You can't play
Trigger,
any white
trigger.
spells.
I'm not.
Oh, you're fine. My bad.
It's all good.
Might be.
It happens, dude.
Was looking down when you tapped it.
It happens.
Vial. Not the vial.
Not the bees!
I know. I was like, well, I guess I gotta play Iona first. Otherwise, you can just path my other dudes.
I missed it.
Nah, go ahead and hit it then.
Alright.
We're just having fun.
Yeah. This isn't a sanctioned one.
Alright.
All of that white mana does me so much good. We have a choice. Kabira Evangel. Trigger, trigger, trigger.
Sure, sure.
Trigger, trigger, trigger. Trigger, trigger, trigger. And protection from white.
Sure.
Swing at you for 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Down to 15.
Alright. Pass turn. Aether Vial get there. Somehow. Maybe. Maybe.
There ain't possible.
Maybe, baby.
Can you kill me next turn?
I like that question.
Okay, so he's the only one who can get bigger.
Yes.
The rest can get protection from color. So,
And then gain life.
right. When they come in.
Mhm.
More worried about my life than yours, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless you like get some big stuff, I'm relatively okay. Swing 7. 19.
Okay.
Go ahead.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And check it out.
Alright, let's make sure we do this right. I think we're good.
We ghost quarter your creepy no.
Tap 2
Yes.
to make these 2 dudes.
Okay, that's Inkmoth and Inkmoth.
2 ink moths,
Okay.
yeah. And we'll block here and here.
Okay, so first strike, we'll take out your Inkmoth.
Pre-damage.
Okay, pre-damage.
That's fine. I was
Okay.
making sure you didn't have your
Sorry,
responses.
sorry.
That's all good. I'm gonna float 2
2.
mana.
Alright.
Okay. And
While we're still in
still in
blockers.
combat.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess move to damage.
So the floating mana will disappear.
Is that what you? Are you ready to move to damage?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So
Before we move to damage then.
I'll add blue.
I mean, you actually have no, it's my combat. You're right, I have priority.
I'll cast another gifts.
Okay.
And-
Oh my god, why?
And then we can move to damage.
Oh my god, why? Unburial. Okay. Okay now.
I'm so sorry.
It's cool, dude. I love how it took both of them, though.
I know. I was like, he can still really make my life unhappy, I think.
I like to go to sideboards on this one.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
try that out. Double gifts. Double rainbow. Man, oh man.
I definitely think I went 2 and 2, which I was okay with. My losses were close.
Trying not to look.
My
I
wins
think
were
I
fun.
just. No, I'm sorry.
You totally just flipped like half those cards upside down. You are such a cheater. So it was really a weird day. It was a really.
Should have played after all.
It was a really cool day. Yeah. Get to play against some different things. Robert didn't combo off on turn 2 every time, so I was pretty happy with the day.
Happy, joy, joy.
It's honestly the most
I'll go
miserable
first.
thing in the world.
Does he play Storm deck?
No, he
No, he's
plays the Reanimator
Yeah.
with Grizzlebrand and Narset.
He can turn one,
How does
which
the
is
combo work?
awesome.
Goria's Vengeance, bring back
Grizzlebrand?
Grizzlebrand
Or Narset.
or Narset, and then just swing and
In the
get
case-
extra combats over and over.
Yeah. In the case of Grizzlebrand, Fury of the Horde pitching 2 red, and then just
Draw
get another
7,
combat, lifelink,
do it
draw
again.
7, yeah.
Yeah, over and over. So
In the case of Narset, just every time she attacks, hit Fury of the Horde or Relentless Assault or any of the others. Waves of Aggression, yeah.
Similar effect.
and that whole hexproof thing just kind of ruins your day when you're sitting there like staring at like 3 paths in your hand and you just can't do it and you're like, all right,
Or in my case,
What do you say?
it's like
I feel like keeping
it's a
it.
3/2 first striker.
I'll
So
keep. Why not?
2
Alright.
1 can't block it.
I will pass turn.
Well, that sounds like a really good build. Why isn't it more popular?
It bricks really hard.
Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't get the right land, if he doesn't get the right mana.
Pass turn.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, like game 1 he drew too many land, but he didn't draw really any of his combo pieces. Game 2 he didn't draw the right colors. But
Aether Vial.
go ahead.
Pass turn.
He eventually, I think I won game. He won game 1, I won game 2, and then he got game 3. So it just sometimes it just bricks, yeah.
And then in my case, when he played me, games 2 and 3, he mulled a 5
Good.
both times.
Well, that's not. I mean, combo decks should mulligan pretty aggressively. I think a lot of people who are new to them don't mulligan aggressively enough.
I know, like just playing this deck, which is really new to
Aegis
me.
of the Gods.
I keep like all the worst hands. Sure.
Pass turn. Hi, Inkamoth.
I don't. No criticism. I don't regard this deck as so much a combo deck.
No, it's
It
really
may
not.
win with a combo, but
Sure, yeah. Just like I just know I'm just bad with it. It's got lots of lines of play, like some combo decks will, like choosing your cards and your plays in the right order. And I'm very bad about that. Burn is more right up my alley. I'm just like, I play the creature and I attack with it until your creatures are bigger, and then I block with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
oh maybe.
Depending, of course. Sometimes you just got to get there. I mean, I get the intricacies. I play red a lot, but
It's become very complex. Back in the day, it really was quite linear, but now
yeah, I do agree with that. As somebody who plays red quite a lot.
See, unless you go turn 1 Goblin Guy, turn 2 Goblin Guy Switch Spear. Use
Beat.
Beat
Yeah.
down.
yeah.
even then, like, why didn't you lead with the Swift Spear?
You
It
have
wasn't in
text-
your hand, clearly. No, I
Well,
got you.
not necessarily. I mean, there may be good reasons, but it's a decision.
Yeah.
Let's do this. We can't do that. Yeah, we can. Okay, I'm gonna have to pain 1 here.
Okay. Drop you to 19.
Yeah.
I think that's the first damage of the game.
It is Tezzeret,
Hi, Tezzy.
and I will plus
Okay.
look at the top 5, and I'll take an artifact, put the rest on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Seems super good.
Is
I'll
that
go to the bottom.
sarcasm?
Yeah.
Oops.
And we'll
Dig
pass.
deeper.
I know. Where are you? No, artifacts. There's so many artifacts in here. Yeah, this guy is kind of why I built this deck.
I'll swing. Aegis will swing 2 at Tezzy.
Sure. And then there were several builds of him that also played gifts, so I was like, I have all this stuff, why not?
Kazandu Blademaster trigger.
Yeah.
I think Tezzeret is amazing. I used to play him in Quest for the Holy Relic back
Pass
in the
turn.
day.
I do like him a lot. I think he's a really cool
He's
dude.
very good.
He's really cool, dude. I'm surprised more people don't play him. Like, I get there's not a lot of super popular, really successful decks that play him,
We don't have a deck for him right now.
but he's so fun. He's so fun. Like,
Huh.
like
Yeah.
this is a 2-turn clock. Okay, let's. But you gotta keep him alive if you want to do that, and that's kind of the problem right now. And you've got a vial on 2, and 1 mana available. Let's do this then. I'm gonna pain 1
Okay.
and Wrath. And +1 in dig for artifacts.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this one.
Darksteel Citadel is good.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the rest on the bottom. Pass.
End of turn.
Yeah.
Kazandu Blademaster, trigger.
Yep.
Combat, swing 3 or swing 2 at 2 at Tezzeret.
Sure.
Before damage.
Yeah.
Mirror entity, trigger.
You got it. Come on, man. I just wanted to play Tezzeret.
Just give
Now
me
I
a
have to
chance.
play other things.
Huh.
Yeah, I plugged in. Thank you. I'll let you guys play. Okay. Yeah.
Mentor of the Meek.
Sure.
Pass turn.
Thank you, man.
Good. How'd you do?
Today? Oh, actually, I didn't play today. I'm just
Oh.
here
Okay.
shopping around.
That's good.
What's going on here?
Just the after party, right?
Yeah.
Tezzeret gifts ungiven versus
Mono white allies.
White Vial.
Ally.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't actually know why we're tanking this right.
Combat.
I don't know what's going on.
Sure, man. Go for it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Is that correct?
Alright. And then we'll violin mirror entity. Trigger. Trigger. To draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Still going.
Sure.
Okay, so this is final. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You got it?
Put you to 11.
Mm-hmm.
Main 2.
Mm-hmm.
Blademaster.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger. Who cares about your trigger?
Right.
Trigger.
Sure.
Pass turn. Gifts me, bro.
Yep. It's gotta happen.
And which one?
Well, I have one that I would like to play, and then one that I think I just am going to play.
I think I know which is which.
Yeah, let's try it.
Aegis, where are you? Oh yeah, the graveyard.
Yep, that's why. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because gifts targets.
It does. We actually had a
Solid
discussion about that
joys.
earlier today. Was the Dawn Charm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
prevents you from being targeted?
You know, there's a little bit of the judge promo says an opponent. I mean, of course, the Oracle text is still target opponent,
right.
but
You
it's a
can see
little
that.
confusing when you see it that way. You do yours down here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Get a horrible person who plays Dawn Charm in their deck, right, Steven?
Horrible. I mean,
Dawn
you
Charm
just-
is amazing. It's got 3 modes and they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
On an Exile Scepter, no less. Hi, Elish
I'm
Norn.
just gonna hard cast that.
Okay.
I like your
That's
line of
why.
play.
That's why. And you,
You're like, look at all these shenanigans. Surprise!
I know, right? I mean, I'm just like, well, I might not draw a land, but if I do, so Elish Norn.
oh, she resolves.
Okay,
She's going
so
to kill a great number of things over there.
those three.
Yeah,
that goes
actually,
away
you die too, yeah.
Yeah. Pass. I feel like I probably should have played that last turn.
Yes, but
But I really see. This is why I'm like, I get really stuck on one path of play, and I just refuse to do another one, which is why I'm so bad at this deck. Yeah, sure.
that seems okay now suddenly.
Yeah. Basic tap, right?
Yes.
All right. If there's not too many of those left.
Swing
I think
5?
There's one. I'm gonna take 5.
Put you down to 6. My first thought should have been because Elish Norn in hand.
Oh my god. Turn.
Turn.
All right.
This is the dumbest game now.
I know, right? It really is like I realize I play this deck in an absolutely idiotic
fine,
way.
you're good.
No, I enjoy it. I was telling her, like, I'm not saying I'm good at this deck. I'm just saying it's a hilarious one, at least the way I play it. So, I'm at 6. It could kill me next turn. Let's do this. No, let's do it this way. White?
Resolves.
Okay.
No, lapse of certainty.
I'm just gonna sphere that guy. Because I think Vial is fun. I'm gonna leave it in.
Okay.
Go ahead. Plus you can do like some protection stuff. I've seen it happen. So I need to get rid of the dudes.
I don't know how, but 2 Aether Vials.
See, now you can just play everything anyway. It doesn't matter.
Fast
Alright.
turn.
Untap all the random lands and talismans.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Well, that kind of puts that to rest, I guess. Engineered explosives on one color.
Okay. Okay. Calling it. Good job, my friend.
Yeah. Oh my god. See, the problem is whenever I have like Tezzeret
Yeah.
and Inkmoth the Nexus and or Darksteel Citadel in my deck, the only thing I want to do is cast these cards
Jam.
and just go.
So
And people are just like, kill Tezzeret. And I'm like, motherfucker, now I gotta play gifts. I didn't want to play gifts, but now I've gotta play gifts.
So sided out these.
Alright,
Sided.
See ya.
Hey, take care.
That's like my biggest problem with this deck. I'm like, I don't want to play gifts. It's just there in case I can't win with Tezzeret. Oh man.
But in some ways that's good because the way that you want gifts to unfold, right, is you want them to commit to the board, and then you want the Wrath on turn 4, and then reanimate on turn 5, 6.
Yeah. So I think I put in an extra worm coil
And
that time.
if they still, you win on Tezzeret, and when they deal with that, you gift. And if
Right.
they don't commit to the board, then you just gift.
Yeah.
So here's how I sided.
That's fine.
These came out Immortal Servitude, which should have stayed for Wrath effects that I knew would be in. Brave the Elements and Scout's Warning. Coming in, 3 Aegis because gifts targets, and Tezzeret targets too, I believe. His ult, I think, targets. I don't think it's opponents, but I may be wrong. Thalia just
Target
to
opponent,
keep
just
the
like-
game back a bit.
Yes.
And then Stony Silence. Darksteel Citadel and your
I mean,
the
all of
2
these
drop.
things.
Yeah, what Signets,
All the
there we go,
talismans and
Signet.
sickness and stuff, yeah.
So what did you have to take out to make room for your Tezzeret package?
I
I mean, your mana base gets a little weaker.
mean, Tezzeret was the package, and then gifts came in after. You know what I mean?
Like, I do, but I mean, if this were a traditional gift deck, you would have
Sure.
a better land base and 3 additional slots, maybe.
Sure. I mean, honestly, I've never looked at this as a gifts deck, so I don't really know exactly
That's
what
fair.
the normal gifts decks look like, to be honest with you.
A big pile of 1 of 9
But
drops that
I mean,
ruin people.
we can spread this out if you want to.
Yeah, let's do
Take
it.
a look
I'm
at
curious.
it. Yeah.
Alright.
You probably
I don't really
won't
like
play.
these very much.
Talisman.
I'm not very good at using these. I don't think. I don't really know I'm just not good at using them.
Well, it's a good
This
thing.
is sideboard.
Well, apparently it's a good thing you got them, though.
Mm-hmm. Doing work over there.
Yeah, I'll just put all the fetches together.
You're saying that apparently they took a jump in price.
Oh, I see.
What, Ghost Quarter?
No, not Ghost Core. I thought
Oh, no, I was talking about Ghost. Yeah. Ink Moth Nexus did jump in
Yes.
price, I think.
Now that it will not be
Now that's not
printed
been
in
printed,
Modern
yeah.
Masters. I should start trading them for Blank Moth and Exile while the latter is cheap.
Right.
I'm a little bit sad. The T1 Glistener Elf in me is sad that you can't draft Infect in Modern Masters 2. On the other hand, Infect is very hard to draft anyway.
I think it was kind of feel bad for a lot of people because they would try to make it work.
And then it just didn't. Yeah.
No, what you can draft? Splitter Twin.
Yeah, the Mono Splitter Twin deck. No. I don't know if there are. I haven't seen the list yet to see if there are enough vampires that I could actually draft vampires.
There is a red-black aggro,
Okay.
which I don't think there's. I think there might be just enough if you get lucky.
Gotcha.
I don't think I would try to draft tribal in a format that's not inherently tribal.
Well, let's see.
Wait, I mean, Modern Masters had giants and fairies. Those were tribes that did very well.
This set includes tribes, doesn't make it a tribal set.
No, I'm not saying it is a tribal set. Same thing with Lorwyn.
It has
but
spirits.
because it has tribes.
I think Lorwyn would be pretty comfortable with being referred to as a tribal set. Like, especially the small set, the multi-block. Really
On a scale of like alpha to Lorwyn, I'd say Worldwake or Zendikar block is higher on that, to be sure. Higher on that spectrum.
I don't think I'm talking about Zendikar block. I just said Morning Tide.
Oh, I heard I thought I heard Worldwake. Wow.
No, that's Worldwake is not a block.
No.
That is a set.
Okay, you're sounding condescending, man.
Eldrazi is a draft target type in Modern Masters.
I didn't
No,
think
that's
it was
pretty
but apparently it did.
Yeah, I just misheard you there.
So let's see. Put all the like things together. Removal. There's the other unburial rights. And the unburial rights targets. It's okay, they're double sleeved.
Just the same.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
No worm coil in the main board?
One in the main,
Okay.
and then one in the side.
Yeah.
Or gifts.
This is so good.
I really like it. Also, like,
It's one of my favorite blue cards in
I'm
Modern.
really bad at sideboarding with this deck. Like, I feel like I don't always sideboard correctly, but I don't do a terrible job. I don't think, just not really very well.
Well, you just started this deck, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I've played it at an actual
There you go.
event.
There you go.
So,
How much damage do you take from your mana base most games?
relatively little.
Yeah, it doesn't look so painful.
Relatively little. Yeah, I mean, I've got the
Do you mind if I move the Godless Shrines with the other shocks?
Oh, thank you. I was
No problem.
thinking like 3 shocks looks really low. There's only, I think, 5 shocks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, 5
A fair amount of
fetches.
fetches. 5 fetches, and then you got these guys, and then this stuff over here.
Yeah.
The creepy
A lot of
topics are
fixing comes
interesting.
from this,
Yeah.
so you don't have to have these producing colored mana because you have a lot of fixing here.
Okay.
I mean, on average, I think I probably take, honestly, 1 to 2 points of damage from the
Oh,
talismans
sure,
here.
because they're all so painful.
Right, these are like a shock or a pain land when you play them. When you get them into play, they're a pain land. There's really no difference other than that. But you can make them into dudes with Tezzeret. So they're more Tezzeret targets, Tezzeret targets, Tezzeret targets. So you have a lot of Tezzeret targets, Tezzeret targets.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you make your spell sky to 5/5, and you're just like, all right, let's do this. You know, like, it's awesome. That's really what I wanted this deck to be.
Gotcha.
But I mean, at first I was building a gifts deck. I was like, I wanted this deck has gone through so many permutations.
Man.
I started out wanting to do some sort of like, I saw a video of somebody from Channel Fireball or something playing something that had like Life from the Loam and gifts, and I love playing graveyard decks. I love it, but Dredge isn't really super good. This it's really more like what I would probably be into, but I kind of just wanted to do something different. So I was going originally for like a Loam Gifts deck. Seems like a very like Jeff Hooland kind of thing, but I don't think it was him. And then I was like, you know what, Liliana's are like 80, 90 bucks.
It's intense. Huh?
I don't think I'm gonna do that. And I was just looking around, and I came across another list that focused more on like Tezzeret. And Tezzeret, I guess, is really what they're calling it, because you just like make your dudes like,
sure,
and then you just like wrath, and usually that's just enough.
I believe
you know, just like, okay, I mean, there aren't many creatures bigger than 5/5. I mean, a Tarmogoyf usually is like a 4/5 at most. Is that right?
I mean, it can
usually,
get bigger, but yeah, 4/5.
Usually,
it's usually
so,
land creature, instant sorcery.
Right.
Yeah.
A Planeswalker maybe.
Planeswalker.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe.
So like, it can get through pretty much anything. I mean, a Siege Rhino, you know, whatever. And so that's usually just enough. But see, I never get to do that because people are just like making me go the gifts path a lot of times, which is fine.
Guilty,
I guess.
sorry.
It's okay, no.
So
but that's how I want to play this deck.
I mean, do you hope that you open on like a couple of land and something to ramp with, and then
yeah, you want
turn
some
3 Tezzeret? Is that accurate?
Yeah, see, that's part of the. There's so many like decent opening hands. So if you have like a couple land and a talisman of some sort and a Tezzeret. I mean, if you have like an Inkmoth Nexus or a Darksteel Citadel.
But Darksteel Citadel is what you really want.
Sure, but I mean, this is a 2-turn clock. If it's not, if
With
he's not
Tezzeret,
answered.
yeah.
But you can't wrath the board after you do that because they'll stay a 5/5.
Well, you would wrath. Hopefully, like
Before
you would like
and
play
then-
Tezzeret or wrath, and then next turn play Tezzeret if they don't play an answer. If they don't play another creature, then you play Tezzeret and you start swinging with this
So
on
was the
turn
decision-
5 because
Yeah.
or
Sorry.
Beyond the
because
6
then you'll
mana on
have
turn 5,
you'll
that
have
makes
ramp.
sense.
So those are like that's awesome. Or if you just have like mana and some paths and some wraths, then you're like, you know what? This is gonna answer most decks until I get something. Or if you like have that and a gifts, then you're like, okay, I can win with this. Or I mean, you ramp so much that on it, like half. If I open with one of these, this is hard. But if I open with one of these, I'm usually just like,
I'll get there.
I can cast that usually on turn 4 or 5. You know, if I have the right cards.
Fair.
So like, none of this is super hard. I actually cast both of these hard cast multiple times today because games would just go long, and I'm just like, well, I drew it. You kill it, and I'll just hard cast the Unburial Rites in my hand, and whatever. Plus, you know, if you can't, then Thirst for Knowledge gives you a way to throw them away.
So is the 3 Pass to Exile intentional, or was it just we couldn't find room for the 4th?
I have one more in the sideboard,
Makes sense.
and
Against just like
it's
fast
fast decks. Yeah, like just Wrath is too slow. Like this is some of the sideboard I'm working with.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's like one extra card in here right now that isn't supposed to be. Like this is like extra. It's
Okay.
out. But I think Relic should be in here somewhere. I've just been playing around with it. But this is the sideboard I've been running.
Alright.
I'm not amazing at sideboard advice because I'm not familiar enough with the local.
No, it's
meta.
okay. Like I just kind of tried to think like, what do I need to answer? And for example, like this, I think maybe should be in, or even what's the white enchantment that exiles graveyards?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Because like every week, round 4,
Narset.
me and Robert,
Yeah.
he's just like it's so hard for me to beat that deck with anything. Like if he combos off, if he goes with Narset, I can't path it.
What about the Black Ley line? If you just need to answer that
Of the
specific
void.
deck.
Now I should get some of the black ley lines.
I think they're cheap, right?
They are. They're like $8, $7-8. Yeah, I should. I just don't have one yet.
Magic players. It's cheap, $70. No, I got you.
Well, yeah, it's like
Relative
it
to the
took
white
me
ley
like
line,
2 months to get all this stuff together.
Sanctity,
So it's like
jeez.
the next. Yeah, the same. I think God is being reprinted.
Yep.
But so sad it's being reprinted because that means everybody have them. And normally I play Burn.
Right.
You know, so normal Leyline's miserable for me.
So, if you don't mind, why
Sure.
do you have 4 rats instead of... I see some people with the Gifts Ungiven package.
Right, they
They'll
have the wrath,
Supreme
different wrath package.
And like Day
Well,
of Judgment.
Damnation is $40.
Yeah, that's one. That's one reason.
And generally, I've got so many just Wrath of God, it's usually just enough. Like between the Path and the Wrath, generally, I will just have them. you know, and sometimes I think, man, I wish I had a Wrath package, but
So the answer I'm hearing is I am lazy.
no, I think this is usually just enough. Like,
Or it's not worth. Lazy is the wrong word. I'm not going to spend $40.
it's not. Yeah, it's not such a big upgrade that I feel worth going
But
out
could
of
we
my.
do it for cheaper than that?
I mean, you've got the there's a
Wrath
thing
and
that's
Day-
like
you've got
Wrath,
of God,
but
so Day of Judgment is basically free. It's like 50 cents or whatever.
Right, yeah. And I think I should get some of those. And then Damnation's $40.
Well, Damnation's right out.
Right. So
But
what else do we have?
Is there like a 5-mana version?
I mean,
There's
you could do In Hostilities.
And hostilities.
There's one with the 5
Crux
that
of Fate.
cost.
You could also do Crux of Fate, yeah.
Or each player chooses
And
one
then-
creature and sacrifices the rest. That one's pretty good.
Which one's that?
I don't know, man. I'll play
I
this
think
game.
you might be better suited.
It's a real card,
You
though.
have a lot more
Yeah.
white mana than black mana.
Right.
Going with planar cleansing, you said, rather
That's
than
like
Crux
6
of
mana,
Fate.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the 5-mana one that you just
In
mentioned,
Hostilities
right? In
is
Hostilities,
the one
that's
in
the
standard
one.
right
How
now.
about in Hostilities?
And
Day
you
of
also
Judgment
have
and
Supreme
sacrifice
Verdict.
everything but
Yes.
one dude.
Supreme Verdict you
Yeah,
can do
that's
as
it,
well.
isn't it?
So
Oh no, the
Wrath
4-mana
Supreme-
version.
Supreme Verdict is
The-
40.
And you
Judgment,
can't counter
yeah.
that, so that's
See,
good. You can do this.
Yeah.
The-
I could,
another
but
errors-
where do you put them in?
You cut one. You cut 3 of those,
Sure.
and
Sure,
that way you can
fair.
tutor for them.
That's fair.
Although you only actually need, I suppose, 3 different ones, right? 'Cause-
You do only
That's
need
right.
3 to get a Wrath.
But that's fine. So you still
Yeah.
run 4 in case you draw one.
Yeah, it's
You
not
could
terrible.
hypothetically run 4 so that if one of them's in your hand and you need
And
to
you
gifts
can
for
draw,
3 of
yeah.
them, then yeah, you'd still have 3 left
Right.
to go for it.
So I mean, it's definitely doable. This is just like,
I should clarify. I meant to say you would run 4 different ones.
Yeah,
Not
no,
that you would only run 3.
I think that's, I got that. Yeah,
I know. But
this is consider this like the alpha version.
Fair enough.
First time I've actually played it out. So, but it is really fun.
it looks amazingly flexible. No counterspell though.
Got negates
Sideboard.
in the sideboard. Yeah.
And this is perhaps appropriate. I don't know if I like counterspell's main deck because I never know what's important. If I were better at the game, maybe. But
Maybe remand just to tempo you into something like Tezzeret or Gifts Ungiven.
Sure,
I
sure.
secretly
Little draw
hate
power.
Remand.
Say what?
I don't think Remand is as good as everybody else.
I mean, I don't think it's the greatest, but it has its purpose in decks that are you're just trying to stall until you can get to this point in the game.
You're just trying to tempo them out.
Exactly, yeah.
I can
What
see
about
that argument.
delay?
I don't remember delay, unfortunately.
1 blue, counter target spell, suspend it. They cast it for free in 3 turns. And then you're like, that's pretty cool.
That
but here's
seems better.
Iona. And you don't get it back, so
You can't just recast it. That's actually really good.
it's amazing.
I
and
think that's
expect it'll go
hilarious.
to $1 billion one day.
I
but-
think that's hilariously good.
And then you're like, Iona, naming whatever color spell. And just like, do you want to cast that thing later?
I'll have to
No?
look at that.
Take 7.
I'll have to look at that. But yeah, this is the deck. It's pretty fun. Like I said, I really don't think I'm very good at it yet because I find myself like, I would say about 50% of the time, I'm like pass. And then I look at my hand, and I look at the board, and I'm like, that was dumb. Like literally 50% of the time because I get so fixated, like I said, on one line of play. And then it's like,
You'll get better at that. when
I know.
You goldfish more, you play.
Right. So it's really funny. I wish I had video like all the time of myself because I feel like I'd be sitting there watching myself being like, "You idiot! What are you doing?"
Pro Tour Dragons of Athens.
Yes.
Over here.
Yes.
Dragon Star Hobbies.
Yeah. So
Well, so other than Jay's point about the 4 distinct targets for your gifts,
right.
I wonder about this main deck. It's obviously like
I think
it just
this
ruins people.
needs to change actually. I have not played these, and maybe this was just today, but I don't actually play these too often. I usually side them out. And I think they should be more sideboard, or at least
maybe 2.
maybe
I like
2
Sideboard against Burn.
Oh no, I love
Oh, definitely
Burn,
sideboard against
but-
burn for sure. Yeah, I think 3 in the main is probably too many because most of the time when I have it in my opening hand, I'm just like, ugh, not good. Or even when I draw into it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing Wrath,
You don't want to resolve
yeah, I
that
don't
before
want
Wrath.
it. Yeah, I want to play these mostly against like burn.
It seems to do the same job as Wrath, basically.
It definitely helps. But I think 3 is definitely too many. That's definitely something that needs to change. Most everything else I'm fairly happy with. I say this card is my least favorite card
Probably
in the
what
main
that's
board.
supposed to be is that blue command. What's it called? Cryptic?
Cryptic.
It's probably supposed to be cryptic.
I mean, you could do cryptics there for sure.
But that's awful because they're expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also your 4-drop where this
Right.
is your turn 3
I mean,
play.
yeah, most of the
You know,
time.
Tezzeret's a 5-drop, I've been told. I'm serious.
No,
This is what we were
Tezzeret,
talking about earlier.
yeah, you really shouldn't play Tezzeret on turn 4 usually. You need to have mana to like, you have to have something to protect him.
You need to block.
And, right, so if you have
Well, you aren't
If you
playing
have
much
a Darksteel Citadel, you
Ah.
can play him. But if you just have an Inkmoth Nexus, you can't.
Well,
Unless you have ramp.
Well, since you're not
Yeah,
running
but-
like counter spells, how do you protect him anyway? Path,
Wrath.
Wrath.
Path and Wrath. So,
And mana
so
labs.
hopefully you've Wrathed the turn before, and then you drop him, and you make something
I
that
see.
you can, like if you played these the turn before, they don't have summoning sickness anymore. You can swing that turn. They'll play a creature, then you can keep it back to block while you hopefully make more dudes. Or if their dudes just aren't going to match up to you, and you just don't care, you just like
Ride the
keep
indestructible
swinging.
5/5.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you can kill Tezzeret, but I've got an indestructible 5/5, so
How many
Path?
lands do you run?
yeah, Path does hurt. It
Oh,
does.
No, yeah, I'm saying that's it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
That seems right. So what if one of these became a Spellskite?
We have 2 spell skites up here already, but they
I
could.
recognize that. Spellskite is amazing because he's a 5/5 and protects your 5/5.
I know, right?
And he turns burn decks into
Yeah.
terrible decks against you. He's
I was-
like main deck hate for burn decks.
I was gonna say, if I change things with just what's right here, I actually might trade at least 1 or 2 of these for Nyx Fleece Rams.
I would
Because
definitely.
they accomplish basically the same thing.
It's
I would
essentially
They give you
they
a
do the same
body,
job.
and they give you life gain.
Putting in the 4th path, I like that. Going in out for 1 timely reinforcement.
Yeah.
His recommendation about Spellskite is also good because
Right.
even in a deck where it's dead, like you're not going
It's
to play
still
burn
just a
every
blocker.
round.
Yeah.
That turns into a 5. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
You're right.
So,
I
yes.
don't agree with additional path, but you'd have to play test it. This is a small change. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the more aggro we come up against in the meta here is
There's
kind of,
really
I'd rather
not a
have two
lot of
of the-
aggro here, I don't think.
well,
There's-
not today, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, generally you'll have, like, I usually play Burn, but if I'm playing this, I'm not. So you play aggro type decks most of the time. Today, not really, I don't think.
Well, still I play Zoo, but lately I've been with my little thingamajig.
Right.
How about Hindering Light? Another counterspell no one talks about. It's
What's that?
white-blue
Counter target spell that would target you or a permanent you control, draw a card.
That seems good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sideboard, maybe.
That does sound good.
I'm saying replace 2 of those guys with it in the main deck.
That sounds fun,
Bump 3
actually.
of those to the side, and then they're like, path your 5/5 indestructible, and you're like, nah, but I'll draw a card anyway.
Yeah.
There's 5 damage.
Yeah. So,
I don't know about that. I'm not a fan of that. I think that's a
I
card
think this
that's
is
more
probably
likely
good.
to be dead in a matchup than timely reinforcements.
Well, my main advice here would be replace those 2 with 2 delay, because I think delay is amazing, and no one's going to skip over it. And that's really what you want to do. When they're like, I combo out, and you're like, not yet. Give me 2 more turns.
yeah. Yeah, I like it. But, so yeah, it's really fun. And I'm probably going to play it for a while until I just get bored of going 2 and 2. And then
Gotcha.
No, keep at it. This
No,
deck
I
will
am.
do much better than 2 and 2.
I definitely think it's much better deck than I am a player of it. That's for sure. Like, I think it has a lot more potential. And
It's got so many lines.
it
I feel like you
does.
could,
It does.
with good lines of play, you could potentially beat any deck out there. It looks very strong.
I agree with that. Actually, that's one of the things, like, when I was, like, reading up on it from, like, the few people who are writing about it and stuff like that, I think it definitely does have a way to beat pretty much everything.
Your burn matchup looks terrible, though.
What do you
Yeah,
think
I mean,
about-
Burn's not the best, but
Huh.
we got Spell Skites, we got Nyx Fleece Rams, we got Timely Reinforcements. I mean, if you get 2 to 3 of any of those, that's pretty rough.
Sure.
What do you
Yeah,
think about
main
a
deck
single
spell
Threads of
space is
Disloyalty? The take control of target creature CMC 2 or lower? And
Permanently?
Permanently, yeah.
Yeah,
as
that's
long as
pretty
you control
nasty
your own.
against red.
I think you might be able to get away. So, like,
Plus, I
thing that
have
Zach's
like a
done-
Leyline or 2 coming in from Puka Trade,
Yeah.
so
Oh, that
those
would
will go
help a
in here
lot.
too.
one thing that Zach's done with his list, you don't have to always go for Embarrow Rights, pick one.
Mm-hmm.
You can also just go for the value plan of, I have 4 and I'll go and get some singletons. Like, there's a singleton Detention Sphere, there's a
Mm-hmm. Right,
singleton, I'll get a path out, something like that, and make
Yeah.
them
Oh,
make the hard choice.
I agree completely.
Sometimes, like, you may be able to maybe not have the 3 timely, but like have a timely, go and get a path, go and get a detention, go and get a counterspell. Maybe I don't know,
No, I agree.
or a wrath.
I agree. The sideboard's a little bit of a mess right now. There's a lot of things that are like suggested by certain people that I just don't have yet. So I just go through and put things in. But I do.
Core Firewalker's pretty good too, by the way.
It is.
I
Core
hate
Firewalker
that
is
guy.
very good against red. As a person who plays red, I'm just like, yep, all right, that
card.
guy's a pain in the butt.
Go to the next one. I
mean-
need sideboard answers to this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I run Path in my red deck.
Just
Oh, yeah.
Well, for him and for
One point.
Grizzlebrand.
Oh, sure. It's reasonable.
Good
Although
old
by the
GW.
time that, well, no, you.
No, if he brings back Grizzlebrand with Gorios, I'm just like, Path. Immediately. You don't
Done
get to
it.
attack, you don't get to gain life, you can draw cards,
At the cost
but
of
that
like
dude's going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that against red unless you can
You better
maybe
want
do
those
it
cards
next
bad.
turn. So yeah, I actually have like 10 paths. Just because I've been like
Do you find your draw package is adequate? Because it seems pretty strong, but then a lot of it is artifact specific. Tezzeret, namely, his repeatable impulse is very strong.
I typically only use that when I am like really needing a Citadel.
So when you've given up on Tezzeret plan, or
Well, if I don't have anything that's worth making into an artifact, then I'll draw, looking for
Okay.
something to make it. Like, if I just happen to draw normal lands and no talisman, no signet or insignias or signets, that's the word, then I'll start plus one-ing. If I'm just looking for more to do with him. But typically I drop him and I want to just go minus or just minus for a blocker and then start plussing looking for something better.
sure.
Gotcha.
But these guys are definitely helpful with getting through and also for tossing things.
Oh, sure. That
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
good.
Like they help me toss when I...
Oh, silly question. So Ghost Quarter, what would you replace that with? Or do you want to keep it? What do you use it for?
I don't like Ghost Quarter, and I think it's because I don't fucking know how to use it. Like,
I mean, it's good mainboard hate against Tron, Escape Ship.
right, but we don't have too many of those decks here.
It's
Yeah.
good against some utility lands.
Right,
Eli will
it's
come
really good,
occasionally.
like, against your vault.
Yeah.
Like, I consider using it, like, for those. That's the only reason I haven't taken them out, because I've been feeling like I've been seeing a lot more utility type lands coming
Gavany
in,
Township,
like
jeez.
the vaults, the Gavany Townships. That's what they're for. If I
You don't
replace
care about
them,
those because you're going to Wrathboard anyway.
well, yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
If you're playing,
It's basically just another answer in case I don't get a Wrath. I can take away their utility land. I would probably replace it with like another Citadel or Celestial Colonnades.
Okay.
And with that in mind, what do you think about this Creeping Tar Pit? He's like my favorite card from that set, but...
I don't often use him
Chase the Mind Sculptor
as a
is not your
creature,
favorite card
but when
from that
I
set.
do,
Huh.
I don't often use him as a creature, but when I do, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of times I'm just using him to do gifts or other things.
Which
But-
is to say you pick him as a target for gifts? I don't understand, I'm sorry.
No. I'm using him just to cast things most of the
Oh
time.
yes, he's a land.
Right. Yeah, I'm just using him to cast things most of the time. But when I do have extra mana that I'm not doing something else, then
Crashing in
it's
there.
like free damage, you know. I think he's great because he's just a land until I have more mana than I know what to do with, which happens pretty often.
Yeah.
And then I can swing with him.
Okay.
So I like it. I would replace like a Ghost Quarter or two with Celestial Colonnades to have more evasive creatures like that.
I feel like if you do this, you probably want to replace a Tar Pit with something that comes into play not tapped.
I can see that.
And I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I really don't dislike the Ghost Quarter here, though.
Yeah, I don't think the Ghost Quarter is bad. I think maybe one in the main and one in the side.
Well, because you don't have counter spells in the main board, if you come against Tron, this is your only hate.
Sure.
Yes, but we're going to fix that. We're going to put counter spells in the main.
We're gonna put delay in the main.
Yeah, we are. Because Remand is
We're taking out all the gifts and we're putting in delays.
also
and we're
gonna
just
cut
ramping to
Tezzeret.
these guys.
It's just going to be like, I don't know, 40
Mono
delay,
counter spell deck.
3 bomby guys.
Right, exactly.
The object of the deck is you start by mulliganing to 6, and then you just play the game, counter everything they do.
Right. Exactly.
And they will mill themselves out first because you mulligan to 6.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're really just going to make this into a mono blue mill deck.
That's what it's going to slowly become.
Yeah.
No, I think it's probably better the way it is. There's a mono blue bell deck.
But, yeah.
Are there any other reanimate targets that you want over there? was the only other thought.
These are the big three, really.
I mean, they seem very good.
Yeah, you know, like, if I just need to gain some life, I go for this guy.
Yeah.
And I can hardcast him pretty often.
I believe it.
That does not usually slow me down. A lot of times I'll just be like Worm Coil, like holding Path Mana as well.
So let me give you an off-the-wall target
Sure.
that I've seen before. Elder Scale Worm. Have you ever heard of that one before? It's
Yeah.
green, so
What
you're,
does he do
you're
again?
never going to cast except through Unburial Rites. I want to say he's a green 3, I think. Your life, if it's lower than 7, it becomes 7. Your life can no longer go below 7
That guy.
through damage.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it stops the game against burn unless they get the Path to Exile, like a Boros
Sure. burn
deck with that, or a Rakdos burn with
Sure.
some removal. And that's just, you would keep it only in the sideboard, and then if it comes in against burn or anything that's just storm, anything that's trying to kill you. No, maybe not storm, because they can damage the Elder Scale out.
That makes it... He's a 7/7.
He is a 7/7.
That makes it a lot harder.
Yes.
7 extra is not always the easiest thing in the world,
Yeah.
depending on whether they've hit
That's
past
right.
and whether they've hit their Pyromancer's
Well, the
Ascension.
thing is, they can't. Do they have to hit him first, and then they have to?
As
go
long
to
as he is in play, you cannot go below 7.
Yes.
Yes.
I understand
So
your question.
you'd stack the...
Yeah, they'd have to stack their triggers carefully.
Right.
Okay.
But, and so, piece of trivia, that actually the card's supposed to have 7 on it 7 times. It actually has it on it 8 times if you count the collector's number. But just random piece of trivia for you.
Right.
But that's a sideboard card that just
Sure.
might go in as a gift instead of the
I can see
other
that.
Worm Coil.
But then if I don't draw a Thirst of Knowledge,
That's right.
he's just sitting in my hand.
That's, yeah.
That's the only reason I would be
Also,
a
we
little
have, at the
sensitive.
moment, a 17 card sideboard. So,
No, I don't think so. I might have just moved
I
some
mean,
stuff around
yeah,
wrong.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is your space is getting tight.
Right, yeah.
And I think
Oh,
a
it
better
would go in
sideboard
for
option
the
is-
Worm Coil.
I
Yeah,
think
you
the
could
better
take out
sideboard
the other
option is
Worm
your
Coil.
white ley line. If that's already
Yeah,
on the
definitely
way.
want to get white ley lines in there. At least a couple. I know
100%,
one in the
yeah.
mail.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about running it in my red deck. Just bolt of that in the mirror matchup.
In
Be
the
like,
mirror?
Nope.
I mean, you probably win unless they're just holding a handful of creatures. So, yeah. So, yep, that's the thing.
Oh, do you even mind sensor in your sideboard? He's cool. Is it one of though? And do you care enough?
Like he was just a throw-in
Okay.
because I didn't have enough good sideboard cards.
Seems good.
Yeah.
I mean...
He's just a toss-in.
Scape Shift hate, I guess.
At which point?
Well, there's a lot of fetches.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of fetches in Modern.
Fair,
So,
fair.
I mean, when you hit him, it's like, good luck on your mana base, man.
There we
You know,
go.
like, it can just destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you got somebody over here gonna Rakdos, whatever that was.
Yeah.
What is it? Slaughter games.
Slaughter
If
Games.
somebody's gonna slaughter games or
Oh.
gifts ungiven, you can just be like, even mind sensor?
Turn
You
clock.
can get the one in my hand, and I'm just gonna try to draw another one. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, is that the game? I still won that game, I think, didn't I?
No, you lost.
I lost that one? Okay.
So those are my suggestions. I wouldn't change much at all. I would go to 3 spell skite and 2 delay instead of a 3
fun-looking
man
deck,
deck
man.
timely reinforcements and
Yeah.
just let it ride.
It is definitely fun.
If you had the remains, play those instead because drawing a card for you is really good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes the land feels a little much with all the ramp. I
Oh, I would definitely. Well, okay. So if you
I
replace
tend
the
to
two-
actually side out signets. When I can't think of anything else to side out, I'm like,
Gotcha.
depending on how fast the matchup is. Like, if I think it's like a fast matchup, then I might leave these in.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should go below 25 land.
Yeah, so I actually, when I don't know what to side out, the first things to come out are timely reinforcements and a couple signets.
You could go to 6
I
signets on
think
deck and that's still
you
a
could.
lot.
So you have 3 pieces here. Whatever piece is the least useful to you, you can probably also side out.
Sure, yeah.
Just a thought, just a suggestion.
So, yeah.
So, dude, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I am at about 50% with it right now. Matches that are hard, well, matches that are easy. Tokens is
Yes.
generally pretty easy. Even with all their recursion, because, I mean, if you can just, like, land
Especially
one of
any
these...
based aggro deck, you
Right.
pretty much just crush.
Yeah.
Guilty.
It depends. I mean, it depends on how fast they are. Like, you know, Burn's a little bit faster.
In fact.
Burn can be faster than
Yeah.
this. But if they don't kill me before I can gifts, then they usually, if they're not running a path, they don't have an answer.
So, this is one reason why I suggest path, another path in the main
Sure.
board, because Infect can turn 2 or 3 you basically don't really do anything against them. By the time that they can kill, you can like keep an Ink Moth back.
Or you can run more Spellskite and do the same thing.
Or you can
It works
run more
against every
Spellskite.
deck.
I mean, that's 2
Spellskite
yeah.
is the best against Infect. And
Just a lot.
Boggles? I'm just like,
Boggles.
mulligan to Spellskite! And then I'm just like, could you pump up my Spellskite, please? You know, like...
So this is why I ran Kasali Pride Mage in the sideboard for my Boggles list.
Yeah.
They have Spellskite and you just, you know,
Yeah.
get there.
So, yeah. It's got answers for everything. Yeah. The only deck I've played against that just feels like bad is against like the Reanimator thing, because if he play I haven't played that yet. There are some other people here who do gifts, but not too many.
Yeah.
But like if they bring in like Narset, I mean once they get a creature on board with that deck, it's just they are going to win if you can't remove that creature. That's just what it is.
Narset is hexproof. I don't
Yeah, Narset has hexproof, so I can't path it. So
Also, maybe some edict effects on sideboard instead of some of the targeted removal that you're currently
Edict
running.
actually would be pretty good. Yeah, that is.
Well, and engineered explosives, but it probably doesn't get big enough, right?
Engineered explosives. Well, Narset
6.
costs 6.
Yeah, so it's not like
Not gonna happen. It would
but
have to
seems
be.
good. Well, maybe it doesn't actually, because you're in white, black, and blue. So there is nothing you can't answer with those 3 colors.
Narset.
Well, Narset costs 6. You have to do
That's
6
what I'm
colors.
saying. That's why you can probably get away with cutting this.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no like
but
tricky
it's
thing you've got to
it's
hit.
really good against.
Tokens, but so is
Some
your 4
things,
mana
yeah.
Breath
We
of
were
God
thinking of
and
the Aether
Elish.
Vial.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's probably fine.
Things like Aether Vial,
Which you can
Burn,
tag with
Burn.
Tension
This is
Spear.
another Wrath. It's basically just like a 5th
Fifth
Wrath.
Wrath. That puts you at 6 if you board it in.
And tokens.
Right.
Another
Yeah.
Which is funny, but you're going to win on turn 5-6 anyway, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
So it's, I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
if you need to make room for edict effects,
No, sure, yeah,
maybe these 2.
yeah.
I can agree with. Yeah, go for the throat for an edict. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
What edict would we put in? I don't think you have enough
Whatever
black
you
for
want.
Geth's verdict. Devour Flesh gives them life, but you probably
I don't. Who
don't
cares
care.
about? No, I don't care about their life.
exactly.
So.
Devour Flesh is the only one I think that's instant speed
It is.
available in Modern.
That seems pretty
Well,
important.
the
And,
instant
and it
speed
has
one
to be
black, yeah.
turn 2 or sooner. So
Okay.
yeah,
Why is this?
because he can go off on turn 2 consistently.
Oh, so it must be 2 mana or less, and
Right.
preferably instant speed.
Right. If he gets the right color mana and the right cards in his hand, he'll just go off on turn 2.
So is that
He
one
can go
black?
off on turn 1.
He can. That,
Simian Spirit Guide, Faithless Looting, Simian Spirit Guide,
you have to have
Black
almost a
Mana,
perfect
Glorious
hand,
Vengeance,
but yeah, he can go off on turn 1.
Don't build your church for Easter Sunday.
No.
No, yeah. That's I was saying. Like turn 2 is what I'm aiming for. So yeah, I would definitely like consider that for sure. Because that's I feel like the only deck that with either anything that I play that I'm just like, God damn it, this fucking shit again. You know, like really, like I'm just like, all right, Robert, let's go, man.
Yeah.
Just like let's do your thing.
So, after like 20 minutes of really aggressive head work, we can only come up with 5 things that we might change here.
No, I thought we were
That's
just
pretty
putting
good.
in delay and that was it.
Yeah. But 5 instances of delay. You add
Yeah.
5 delay to this deck,
Yeah.
and then you win everything.
Yeah.
What do you think about, for this particular meta, Devour Flesh for Celestial Purge?
You need more than one.
There's. I feel like people have started playing more like Liliana's.
I got it, okay.
Taskers become very popular too.
Tasker, yeah, so.
In other metas, I agree. In this meta, who has Liliana other than Jacob, maybe?
Sean.
Sean has? Oh,
I
okay.
could push a place out if I wanted to
Hope.
play that deck. If you cut that, I
Hope
would
has
go here
Liliana's?
with or
I've
Liliana,
never.
just
I've
to like,
Just to spite me.
I know she has
slap her on the
Jace,
face.
Yeah.
she has Ashiok, she has Garuk. She might have Liliana too, yeah.
I know Keelan's got Liliana's.
Okay, yeah. He's running not the Township Abzin, but the.
Also, I'll be honest, I forgot Narset had hexproof, and I was really sad when he played her. Because I'm sitting here with like a Celestial Purge and 2 paths in my hand, and I'm like, let's do this. He's like, well, he's like, he had put so many cards in his graveyard during this game that he's like, well, I can't really go with Grizzlebrand because, you know, he just has so many cards in his graveyard or whatever. He needs to draw with Grizzlebrand because he can't just straight play him like he can with Narset. And so he's like, so I'll go Narset. And I'm like, okay. And I looked at it, I'm like, mother! You know, like that's why I definitely need some edicts in here for that. But
I mean, awkwardly, the best edict that you could play might be Liliana.
well, but then
black is a little
it has to be
tricky.
at instant speed.
Yeah,
It doesn't have
that's
to
it.
be.
Yes,
Just-
for that
the
it
Narset one, it
does.
has to
Yeah,
be.
For that it does. Because like that's one deck that I feel like I have no answers for, which is why I'm talking about it so much.
But you may also be running some Graveyard Hate in the near future, and that would
Right.
answer this too, right?
Well,
I'm thinking
yes,
the same thing.
yes. If you do Graveyard Hate, then it limits. Yeah, he can't. He very rarely hard casts any of his creatures. So yeah, a couple. The White Enchantment. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You have Relic.
Yeah, but
I do have a
between-
relic,
Relic,
but
like
I mean,
Leyline.
Rest
usually
in peace
a lot
to
of times he
fight-
dumps multiples of each of these creatures in the graveyard, so he'll just target another one.
That's it.
So I think Rest in Peace is probably the best answer.
Graph Diggers.
Graph Digger's Cage is good too.
Yeah,
It's
against the
good because
various
it's
like
always
dredge
negative
decks.
5/5, but I don't generally
Yeah.
like it because it's temporary.
But you're right. Yeah, Graph Diggers is good. We have one lone player here though,
can
and
find
it doesn't
it
work
off
on
of
dredge.
Mhm.
But other than actually,
Yeah,
it'll still
so
hit his
I think
blood
Graph
cast.
Digger's
Yeah,
good.
there you
It's
go.
worth
I put Grave Powers in my deck.
Ah, yeah, that'll do
But
it.
your ability to
Blood
actually
Gas
draw
as
it,
well, so.
It's pretty
yeah,
pretty
this is a
decent.
significant thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Especially on a sideboard card that you're going to have to dig for.
Well, the
Yep.
only problem is though, Graph Diggers hits him too.
Graph Diggers does hit him, and it's
You know,
a
I
turn
can
one
har-
play. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hard cast most of my spells though, really easily.
Or you super awkward, you can detention spear your Graph Digger's Cage.
I'm like, all right, I'm comboing now. I'm playing my gifts I'm given now. Next turn, Detention Sphere, Graph Digger's Cage, cast Unburial Rites.
The fantastic thing about this is they'll certainly let you resolve your gift, because they'll be like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna come for you.
And then, trying to say, and then, engineered explosives for 3 to blow up my Detention Sphere to get back my Graph Digger's Cage.
Such shenanigans, sir. Such shenanigans.
How
I love
cute
how
is
I don't
that?
see any 3-drop permanents here. 2, 2, 4. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, like, you need the 2s to ramp, and then you're at 4.
Yeah. There
You just
go.
don't care. Like,
Yeah, so I guess that's the other thing that's worth playing with, is 8 of those the correct number.
I think it might be too many. I think I would cut these because they can't do anything on their own.
Interesting.
It's really awkward to be like, tap 2 land, now I've got no mana,
I see.
as opposed to tap 2 land, now I can still pass something you play.
Okay.
So
One more thing to think about. I guess.
no, I felt like I generally have way too much mana, so much so that like I feel like I draw too many lands because I have so much ramp. You know, like the lands are probably fine. The ramp might be a little too much. I would do like 2 less.
Well, I like that if we're going to add another spellscade in, I feel
'Cause
less
then you have
reluctant
another
to cut
target.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I don't want your artifact count to go too
Too
low.
low, right?
Because not only does that reduce the utility of his impulse, it makes his ultimate very weak.
Oh sure, yeah.
And you want to use that as like a threat to force them to spend energy on Tezzeret,
Right.
which is hilarious.
I love Tezzeret. I'm glad you do too, because he's so much fun.
I played him as a 2-of in a deck that ran 19 land. He was amazing for me.
Nice. But yep, it is fun. What time is it?
Late.
No,
We're
it's
not
fine.
quite Game of Thrones
Oh,
time
it's
yet.
7 o'clock. I actually am supposed to be picking up somebody.
Go for
No,
it.
wait, no. Game of Thrones starts at 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good then.
Alright.
For some reason, I thought it was 8. I was like, I actually have to go pick somebody up and head over there. But yeah, okay, now I'm good.
And this is my favorite art for Path to Exile.
I know.
I'm a huge Rebecca Gay fan.
I think I just got it for like the normal like $5 price somehow.
Wow.
Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 15 supposed to be, I think. So I was pretty happy about it.
Nice.
She's in every picture she draws for.
There's the.
Who? Her?
Yeah.
Is that the
all,
artist?
all of her pictures are pretty much self-portraits.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It is kind of cool.
I'm thinking of that one Shadowmoor merfolk that's looking at you, all the skulls around him.
Mhm.
That may be that's I'm sure an exception. I hope an exception. No, I'm just kidding. I really dig her art. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thanks, dude. No, I think
Yeah.
we've exhausted ourselves.
I know.
Yeah.
But honestly, all I want to do with this deck is play Tezzeret and kill you with Inkmoth Nexus. Like, I really just want to play Infect, but I went about it a really weird way.
So you started on turn 1 Inkmoth. Is he playing Infect? Turn 2 Darksteel.
What is he doing?
I think you're thinking Affinity at that point.
Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking that too.
And then
the next
then you play like a
was-
Signet, and he's like, now I really don't know what this guy's doing. He's playing Inkmoth, Darksteel, Talisman of Progress.
Then I would
What the hell?
expect Tezzeret, and then
Well,
that's
nobody-
exactly what I would expect.
Nobody here has, as long as I've been coming here, I've never seen Tezzeret
Yeah.
ever. And so like most people are like, wait, what does that do?
I need to read that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay. He looks for artifacts, he makes artifacts 5/5s, and then his minus,
drains
I've
him
never
for
used it
yes.
before, but I'm sure he has one.
It's very good.
It is good, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's never around long enough for me to actually do it, though.
You get life off that, you know.
Oh, I know. But he's just never around that long. Either like, they just kill him.
I
They just
see him
kill him.
more
Like,
in,
once they see what I'm doing, they're just like, that guy's gotta go.
In Legacy
So
and
it
Vintage
never gets high
than I
enough.
do in Modern, but
hmm
he's doing work here, it seems.
He's fun.
My
Yeah.
scheme for him in Modern is like Midnight's Ornithopter, Stingray, Trunks, Mox, Opals.
Oh, yeah.
And you get him out there with enough board presence that they can't connect.
Yeah.
And then you take him up to his ultimate, and then you tag him for 10 or 20 damage.
Yeah. I can see this deck one day evolving into like some sort of like weird affinity deck with like Tezzeret where you're just like, all my 0 cost things, and then like one turn later after you've dropped all like your
Yeah.
0 thought, you're like Tezzeret.
And you know, you can proliferate too. You've got Tezzeret's Gambit and Volt Charge to
Yeah.
take him up the last bump, so you only have to impulse once.
Yeah. So
Actually, you could, well, yeah, you would impulse once anyway, but
so yeah. Good
There we
stuff.
go. Good stuff.
Yep.
time for
And cut!